everybody. Right. It's time to explain what the fuck has been going on with me. This is going to be one of the most difficult videos I've ever had to make. I didn't think I was going to make it while riding, but I'm going to. It'll be alright. Okay, where the fuck do I begin? And I'll say first, I'm sorry if this is no interest to you. Fine, don't watch it, whatever. Just wait a while, things will be a bit more back to normal. But I've always shown my videos to be my life and, you know, warts and all. So anyway, let's get into it. As some of you are aware, as sort of the background of it, I've had problems with depression and anxiety and stuff for a very long time. And I've got a reasonable hold of it, but I did have a lot of problems a few years back. Well, I met Mrs. Spice, and it was just as I was sort of coming back out of a really low phase, and it was brilliant because she's amazing. I love her to bits. Felt like the luckiest guy in the freaking world, and I have done for the past couple of years. Because we've been together for, well, it's actually, no, it's more like, it's nearly 3 years in sort of Novemberish time. But anyway, obviously in those 2 years, we've had a very happy and harmonious relationship. We've never had an argument, we still haven't. We've always just got on very well. You know, we planned our future together. Well, in the past few months, I've been having some problems with depression and stuff again. And I have talked about it, and I do understand it. It bases down to the fact that I thought I was better. I thought that I'd got rid of that from my life, and that I was feeling down about stuff just because, you know, I fucking hell, the past 2 years I've had a crash, then back to work, then shit at work, then an operation on my foot because of stuff from the crash, and then it was only, I mean, fucking hell, the crash was like 3 years ago or something, nearly, you know, nearly 3 years ago, and it only got sorted out, what, 3-4 months ago. Cleared my debt, got onto a bigger bike, everything I wanted to do, and I found that I still felt the same. And it really gave me a fucking kick, because it was like, fuck! I haven't got rid of this, I am not doing as well as I thought it was, and I got pretty depressed. I wasn't sleeping, and I try to keep it in as much as I can to not let it affect our relationship, but at times, because I'm so tired, so run down, it does sometimes make you a bit quiet and a bit lifeless, as it were. Well, let's skip forward. About 4 weeks ago now, I noticed Mrs. Spice was being a bit funny. She didn't seem very upbeat, and we got talking, and I just said, look, what's up? And the reply is something that fucking just fucking destroyed me, which was that she didn't feel the same way that she used to about me. She didn't feel like she loved me anymore. And it fucking killed me. For like the first week or two, I was a fucking mess. Anyway, part of what may make it not exacerbate things a little bit is the fact that he didn't have anywhere to go. She literally had nowhere to go to live, and I'm not an arsehole, I never have been, and I love her to bits, I care about her, and I'm not about to kick her out of where we live. So for the past 4 and a bit weeks we've been living together, sleeping in the same bed, getting on great, actually. We've had some really nice times together in the past few weeks, which is a massive double-edged sword, because on one side, you know, it gives you it's given me time for us to talk a lot and ask a lot of questions and get some closure, as it were. But at the same time, You know, every second that you spend with the person that you love, you realise why you love them. And then when you realise that they're going to be leaving in an unknown amount of time, it's horrible. But I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't have wanted to put her out, you know, on her arse, as it were. Anyway, she's got a place now, and in a few days' time, she will be moving out. And it's going to be fucking difficult because I'm not good on my own. That's when my mind starts playing with me, and I am fucking terrified about how depressed I could get when she's gone. Now, what was driving me mad is that she really couldn't give me any answers as to why she felt that her feelings had changed. She said it's nothing I'd done, I've never been horrible, I've always been the most loving, caring person, etc, etc. But things change, and I can't deny the fact that sometimes things do just change, but sometimes those things changing seem really fucking unfair, but it's you can't, I have to tell myself there's nothing I can do about that. Well, eventually she did kind of give me some reasons, two main reasons, one of which I knew about, which was we never see each other because of the way that our hours work, and the way that we just, you know, we never seem to be off at the same time, and as much as we tried to do that, our work's never allowed us to really do it. So there's that. And also the fact that I became so lifeless and down. So the reason basically that her feelings changed was we didn't see each other that much, and the fact that I have depression. And she knew I had it before we even started going out, and it feels harsh and cruel. I talk openly about my depression these days because a lot of us deal with it. A lot of us hide it every single day. And there is a stigma about it. I mean, it is starting to go away. People are starting to understand it. It's not just being miserable about, oh, something shitty happens and you're a bit down. Yeah, that's fine. But we're talking clinical long-term depression. It's fucking horrible. And some people see it as a sign of weakness, and I used to see it that way, and I tell you what, you're fucking wrong. Clinical depression, if you can get on with your life, work your job and get on, you've got fucking depression, you are fucking hard as nails, because trust me, there is no more terrifying enemy than the one that's in your own head. The one that is always telling you how shit you are, how you're never going to get the things that you want, how everything's going to go fucking wrong. And every time that something does go wrong, it's there to go, ha, see, I fucking told you so, you shouldn't have felt good about things. But you have to know that it isn't really you, it's just pressure. And I did read something that did actually explain it quite well. Strong people, through adversity, will just fucking plough head on through it. They will not stop, they will double their efforts, and when they get knocked back again, they'll do it again. And every time something goes wrong, they're like, fuck it, and they carry on and they keep going. And after a while, that will take its toll on a human brain. Physically, I think it's the limbic system starts not being able to cope with it. And the way they put it, it's like trying to put 18 volts through a 13 volt fuse, or amp, you know what I mean? And eventually something snaps. Now, I do have a good handle on my depression. Not so much lately, because obviously coming out of being depressed, and just as I was getting back to feeling a bit more normal, just as I'd achieved a lot of the things I've been trying to achieve for a long time, and I felt like we had a chance to, move on and do the things that we both planned to do, like get our own place, and yeah. So for this to happen now, just as I feel like I've got through the hard times, and I'm just starting to get into the payoff. Yeah, it's really, really, really fucking difficult. There's still no bad feelings between us. I still love her. She still cares about me. And so we still haven't argued about this. We've just talked a lot. I've been honest with her. I've told her I feel like her reasons are harsh, unfair, and it surprises me that she could do that, because I didn't think she was capable of that. But at the end of the day, she is her own human being, and I love her enough that I want her to be happy. And if that means not being with me, well then, okay. Okay, so let's get on to the more positives. Me of the future. It's going to be hard. She hasn't actually moved out yet. I felt like I should make this video before she does, because I don't want you people being fucking horrible to her or saying nasty things about her. Yes, she knows that what she's done is harsh, and yeah, I don't want her to have to take a fucking battering. As I say, I considered not telling everyone. I considered just saying, yep, we're not together anymore, and that's that. But I wanted to help others that may be in a similar situation to know that even I, at this point in time, and I'm not saying I've had the worst life in the world, but trust me, don't pretend to know that you know my past, you know the shit that I've been through. I've had a very fucking unfair and at times very unlucky life. But I don't let that stop me. It affects me, and every time I get knocked back, I just double my efforts, and that can actually, you know, can be detrimental. But there is always a way past it, and I've seen so many people give up and stop the fight, and at times I can understand why they would feel that way, but I'm too fucking stubborn. I will keep fucking battling. Because one day it will pay off. I know it will. Even though I feel right now like my fucking world has fallen apart around me. Like I'm never going to get back to where I was. Like, you know, I'm not the youngest of guys, I'm nearly 30. And that does, you know, I felt like I was just getting where I should have been. And now I'm back to square one. If anything, I've taken a couple of steps back, because whereas I thought I dealt with the things that with my head, I actually still have to deal with them. But positives, as I say, I know, I understand what I have. I understand that, and I understand why. That's the biggest thing you have to do to help you deal with depression better, is to realise that it isn't you, it isn't your real thoughts, it isn't true what is being said in your head. It's just a fucking chemical imbalance. It is just a fucking glitch in your head. And if you can deal with it, if you can get by, see the good in people again, which I'll admit is going to be difficult, and trust people again, which again, it's going to be difficult, then you'll be the stronger for it. And look at the metaphors, and it can be an uphill struggle, but we're not on a 1-2-5 anymore. What I do need to do is look at the positives in my life, look at the things I have achieved. And I've achieved some pretty incredible stuff. It's not being big-headed, I know I have. Not all of it you guys know about, but I know what I've done, and I don't ever sit around and do fuck all. I always make something of myself in everything that I do. And I've made some bloody good friends in the past few months. Oh, of course. The day after me and Mrs. Spice decided that, you know, because we gave it a couple of weeks to see if we had hope, and the day we sort of got to the conclusion, okay, there is no hope, the day after that, one of my very best mates says to me, look at this, and it's an email for a visa to Australia, because he's moving out there for a good while. So literally, just kick, fucking kick, when you're on the floor, kick. But the positives, again, we've got to get back onto the positives. I'm going to get back to blogging. I have to. It has to keep me busy. You guys are very supporting. I mean, I haven't even told you guys what the fuck has been going on, but I've had messages from people that really have helped. And it's nice to know occasionally that you are valued. It's very often in life we don't say what we really feel about people until they're gone, as it were. And sometimes all that person needed to hear was those things. Well, I guess that's kind of it, really, warts and all. It's not been a happy vlog. It's not at all. But I don't fake shit, I'm real. I tell you exactly how things are. I don't live by bravado, I don't try and seem to be some fucking spectacular, ooh, look at me, I'm on YouTube. I'm just a normal guy. But what I can say is, be there for the people that you love. And when they go through hard times, realise that that's when they need you more than ever. And don't take people for granted, because you know, you never realise what you have till it's gone. I mean, look at this crow here, right? This crow's got a broken wing. About 3 or 4 months ago I noticed it had a broken wing, and I was like, oh, he's not going to be around for long. And what he's done is he's adapted. He's still here, he's still fine. And what he's done is he just jumps around. And he gets all his food from the people that feed all the crows up here. But what he's done is become a little bit tamer than all the other ones. He's adapted to it, so he gets to the food before the other ones. And that's part of it. You have to adapt to deal with problems in life. I love this little guy. He's brilliant. Still carries on. He's got a fucking wing hanging off. If there's anyone else out there that's going through this sort of thing, or has been through this sort of thing and it's really affecting you, you should know that it isn't the end of the world, and you should never allow someone to have the keys to your happiness. You need to find that yourself, and I know I need to do that. I need to find my happy on my own, and that can be difficult, but you have to do these things in life. Life is a fucking challenge. But it doesn't take away from the fact that, you know, that it's fine to feel bad about losing someone that you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with, someone you deeply loved, and your best mate. Yeah, so there you go, guys. Sorry if this is really long, but I might as well just explain it all. Put it all to you. If you don't get it, think I'm just being a fucking crying girl, fine. I just hope that you never have to deal with depression, because you'll get a fucking shock. Anyway, right, okay then, well, there you go, I've done it, I've made this video, it's been fucking difficult. I will be back, I've got a few more things obviously to sort out in the next few days. Sorting out Mrs. Spice's stuff and getting her into her new place. But I'm going to have to find time to fucking film, because if I sit at home, I'm not going to improve. There we go. I'll catch you all next time. Nick waxes it on my visor to help it getting all wetted up. And I used anti-fogging agent on the inside. I haven't done shit!